Hi, this is Steve from GuitarZoom, and to honor the incredible life and music of David Bowie, I thought it'd be fun to show you how to play Heroes, the 4 primary guitar parts to Heroes. So I'm going to break them down for you. You're going to have the video. It's got all the parts on there, and then at the end I'm going to tell you a little bit about it if you need that. So check this out. Alright, so let's break down those 4 parts as quickly as possible so I don't bore you to death with this whole thing. I chose Heroes just simply because it's one of my favorite David Bowie songs, just an iconic song all the way around, and the guitar parts are relatively straightforward, but they're really fun how they work together. So the first thing we're going to look at is just the power chord section, and there's no right or wrong way to strum this. It's basically just kind of chunking in the background through the whole song. So you've got this D power chord to G. Now, you could use open chords, you can do whatever you want. It's just my interpretation of how this song goes. But I'm just using power chords. So whenever you do the pre-verse and the verse, which there's always groups of 4 of those, it doesn't matter what you call them, you're going to do this pattern 4 times. You're going to go D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, G, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're going to do that 4 times. So if you'd rather play D over here and G here, it's totally fine. It doesn't matter how you do it. But that's what the pre-verse and the verse is doing. And the beautiful thing about this song is it's the same pattern over and over and over. You're going to do 4 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 times. Then you're going to go into the pre-chorus and the chorus. And again, this is exactly the same, and it always follows 4 of those verse pieces. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into C. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, D. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 measures at C, 2 measures at D power chord. Then you're going to go into A, E, D. So you're going to go A, E, D. So I did A for a measure, A power chord, E power chord for a measure, and then D for 2 measures again. So this section is C, C, D, D, A, E, D, D, and then it ends with C, and then you're going to do C with B in the bass. So you're just going to take your first finger and move back 1 fret, and then 2 Ds again. Okay, now if you feel the urges in the pre-chorus to not palm mute, if you just want to go, and then your last part, and remember, A can be played up here. If you'd rather play up on the 6th string, it doesn't matter, okay? So that is your entire song. You do 4 DGs, D, D, G, G. You do that grouping 4 times, and then you do this chorus section. We'll just call the whole thing a chorus, where you're playing C, C, D, D, A, E, D, D, and then C with B in the bass, C, B, D, D. Then you just start all over and do the same thing. So that's what the verse section, or excuse me, the chord section is doing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to look at this riff, this little... And that happens in the DDGG sections. It does not happen over the chorus, okay? Just when you're playing DDGG, that's when this happens. So what you're doing is you're playing here, we're going to play... So we're playing right out of the D major here. We're playing 5th fret of the 5th string, which is D. We're going to play that twice, and then we're going to go over here to B on the 6th string, and then A on the 6th string. So we have... Okay? Now it's pretty easy to do this because it's the same pattern over and over and over as well. There are 4 of them, but one of them gets repeated, so you're going to go... That's your first one. Your second one goes... So it's the exact same thing, except the rhythm of the first 2 Ds is just a little different. So listen to the 2 of them back to back. Dun 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 dun. Now the third one is the same as the first one in notes and rhythm. So here's all 3 of them now. Third one. Okay, now the 4th one goes back to this D, same thing, and then it's followed by B, C, C sharp, which almost sounds like a Blues Brothers song. Okay, but let me put all 4 of those together so you can hear them in sequence. 3rd one, 4th, and all of those are on offbeats. That 5 and the 7, 8, 9, they're all on offbeats. So that's what you do in the verse as well. Okay, so that's going on underneath these. So imagine that happening, and we've got... Then it just starts all over again, okay? The last part that we've got, well, there's 2 other parts, excuse me. So the next part that we've got is the kind of louder, distorted power chord parts. And this is actually really cool. And again, I think this is correct. I do the best to hear this. But when this is going on, what I believe this guitar part is doing is it's playing an A as a bass note. So you're getting this big, thick D power chord. Like that. So what you're going to do is you're just going to play single notes. This is what's happening in your verse now. You're going to go A, then G. That's all you're doing in your verse. And that's happening over the top of this. So there's where you're playing A, then your G. So they're happening at the same time. So if you have somebody else you can jam with, this is really fun to do because you got all these other parts. Then you got a third part that's happening as well. Okay? So that's what you're going to do in the verse section. Now when the chorus section comes up, and that's where we went C, C, D, D, all of that sort of thing, you're going to play this. You're going to play C, but you're also going to play G in the bass. You're going to play these top two strings by barring. Then you're going to move up a whole step. Then you're going to play A, E, and then D, but we're going to do those top two strings again. Okay, so it's thickening up the chords of the other rhythm part that we were doing. So you're going 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, A, E, and then to D, but we're doing the top two. We got one more section. This is where you went C with B in the bass and then that D. Okay, we're going to follow that. Only this time what we're going to do is we're going to play G and then that C and then the B and then go to these two again. So it's a really cool inversion over the top of what's already being played. Instead of the guitar players doing exactly the same thing, they're doing something a little bit different, which sounds cool and it thickens up that sound. So let me play you this whole section. This is the chorus now, okay? The verse was just A, 5, 6, 7, 8, G. Now here comes the chorus. So here's the chorus section. Top two strings. Top two strings. And we're going to play A, E, E, D, but we're going to go to top two strings. Then we're going to play 3, 3, 3, 2. Okay, that's what the third rhythm, well, the third part, which is the second rhythm, the thicker rhythm, the more distorted rhythm, excuse me. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the last section, which is the little lead thing in the chorus. So there's all these cool little parts. This part is going like this. And then it changes after that, but let's just look at that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to the second fret of the first string, I'm bending it, and then what I'm going to do is play a 0. And then go back to the 2, and then go to the third fret of the second string. So I have, and then I do that again, and then the third time I do the same thing, but I go to the second fret of the third string this time. So I do 2 of the same ones, and then the third one has a different ending note. Now the second section goes. So I'm still doing that same bend here, but I'm going to the first fret of the second string, the open of the second string, and then ending with the second fret of the third string like I did before. So it looks like this. Okay, so let me play both of those parts for you so you can kind of see how they're working. So here we go. Now I hold. Now I end by doing a walk-up. So let's look at that. I'm going 2, 0, 3, 0. And I'm going to pluck that 0 twice. And then I'm going to play 3, 0, 3. It's a little bit confusing. So that's how that goes. And then after that, I'm going to go to the fifth fret of the second string. I'm going to bend it. Then I'm going to go back to the 3 and then end with a bend. So I have... And that's it. Okay? So let me play you the end section of this. Okay? It goes... Okay. Now you can change the rhythm a little bit if you hear it a little bit differently. If you hear it kind of like jump in. Like if you'd rather do something like that with the rhythm, it's okay. Just listen to the song and kind of hear what you want it to do. But that's how the riff goes. That's how, or I should say the lick. So you've got the first verse, the first rhythm, I should say, not verse. The first rhythm, which is kind of cleaner. It's more power chords, all that kind of stuff, palm muting. Then you've got that little riff. And then you've got the rhythm, but it's more single note and heavier, using those things, which is probably a little more distortion. And then you've got this last part here, which is the little bendy stuff in the chorus. So really fun song, a really great tribute to David Bowie. And, if you've got other guitar players that you like to jam with, this is a really fun one to do because it doesn't require an asterisk for you, and you work with that. So anyway, I hope that helps you. Take care. God bless, and I'll talk to you later.